Hi, it's Bonnie with Just For the Food of It, and tonight I am going to make a tuna ring with cheese sauce. And it is a Betty Parker recipe. I've been making it for years and years. So the ingredients for the filling is 3 cans of tuna in water, and I've drained that, and a half a cup of onion chopped, then a 1/4 cup of parsley, and a teaspoon of celery salt. I use celery seed, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. So I have all those here together, and I'm going to mix those in. It also calls for 1 egg lightly beaten. So I'm going to mix all this together with a half a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. So I'm going to add that in there. Then I'm going to add my egg, which I lightly mixed. I'm going to mix it all together. Get all the seasoning in there. I haven't put any salt in here because of the cheese has a lot of salt into it. So just gonna mix this pretty good. I like celery seed, like celery. You could put chop some celery in here if you wanted to. Parsley I grow in my garden, and this is celery seed instead of celery salt. Okay, so I've got that, I think, pretty well incorporated. I'll mix it again before I add to it. Set it aside over here. The bisquick dough itself, 2 cups of bisquick and 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to bend this down just a little bit so y'all can see my bowl. I'm using the same bowl I used to make the bisquick dough. So I'm going to do about 2 cups. There's a little bit left. I'll need that for my sauce. So I have that, and then I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of water to it, and then I'm going to mix it together, then create a dough. And you'll need a 9 by 13 pan. I got my bisquick dough in there, and then I have my water, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do it with my fingers. Some people don't like to do that. I don't mind it. So I'm just going to mix that together real quick. Let it come together, and then I'll just lightly just mix it together with my hands, and then I will roll it out with a rolling pin. So I always take my rings off. I hope y'all do. It is a mess if you don't. So I'm just kind of trying to incorporate it all together. I don't want to knead it. This is not a bread. You're just kind of trying to incorporate it all together. For the most part, you might have to add a dab of more water, possibly. So I think that's pretty good. Right. Now I'm going to get rid of the bowl. Got a dab of flour on this side. So I'm going to scooch y'all back so you can still see me. You don't need like a whole lot of anything to do this. Oh, by the way, I have my oven heated to 375. So this is going to be kind of a, well, it will be a rectangle, because you're going to make it long and thin. You're going to put the ingredient in the middle and then roll it up and then form it into a ring. You'll see real quick. So I'm just trying to get it where I can roll it out. I don't want it to stick. So I'm just going to splash that in there real quick. Ugh. You know, a lot of people have rolling pins that don't have handles. I've never had one. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't use it. So this stuff rolled out here. And I like to make my own sauces and my own spices. Long time ago when we lived out in the country, and you literally couldn't get to the store every day. Just couldn't do it. And when you did, it was a trip. So we always say a trip to town. People around here think that's funny because they're like, you know, it's a mile away. Well, where I lived, it wasn't a mile away. It was a long ways away. You took a cooler for your meat or anything cold, your milk or anything like that you wanted to keep because it was a trip. It was a day. You go to town, you get all the things that you need all in one stop, and then you drive home. It was a whole adventure. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect by any means. You just want it a large rectangle. So I'll make sure that I do have it long enough, because we'll clean it up when we go to cut it. And I am also going to put it on my pan before I put the filling in it, because it's kind of hard to move after you do it. And I just like to have it lightly floured. Knock the loose part of it off. And then I'm going to stick this over here like this. Now my ingredients. Oh darn, I forgot to save some egg. Let me get another egg. You need an egg to cover it with so it'll brown nicely. You're supposed to save like 1/4 of the egg out so you can cover it and it will brown. Filling. Mix it again real quick. And now I'm just going to add it to. I'm just using my hands. I don't mind using my hands, y'all, at all. It's a lot, isn't it? This will feed 4 people easily, especially with a side. And you just kind of, you want to center it. Make sure you get as much to the edge as you can. Make it as even as you can. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And I like to fold over the edge here, this way, kind of making a burrito out of it. And I am going to fold it this way. Up. And then I'm going to roll it so we can seal it. I'm going to cut this extra off because we don't need all that extra. Alright, so now this is where you make your little ring. Stretch it out as good as you can, you know. And then you're going to make 1.5 inch, probably 2-inch slits, not all the way through, about 2/3 of the way through. So that would be a serving. This is a serving. I'd say 2.5 inches apart. Like I said, you don't want to cut all the way across. Okay, so then I'm going to spread it out just a little bit more. And then I'm going to get my little, where is that? Just a little rubber brush. Little rubber brush. And take your egg wash that I forgot to save out. And then I'm going to add it to the top. And it'll brown real pretty. Golden brown. I mean, it's fine if you forget to use it. It's just not going to be as pretty brown as it is with it. So just kind of being as generous as I can be without splashing it everywhere. Can you see that okay? Let's get it all in there. Make sure I got all the sides. There. Okay, so I am going to put this in the oven 25 to 30 minutes. And once you take it out, then it's ready to go. In the meantime, I'm going to make some cheese sauce. And the cheese sauce, hold on 1 second. There. The cheese sauce is, a fourth a cup of butter, a fourth cup of bisquick, an eighth teaspoon of salt and pepper, 2 cups of milk, and a cup of shredded cheese, cheddar cheese. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your milk in there and your butter, get that melted together, add your seasoning. Once it starts getting warm, you're gonna put in your bisquick, mix that all up till it starts getting thick, and then when it starts getting thick, you're gonna add your cheese and then turn it off. Pretty simple. So, but I'll go ahead and make a video for that. I'll put this in the oven now, and I will be back with you guys. Bye. Hi, I'm back. I'm getting ready to make the cheese sauce for the tuna ring. So I have 2 cups of milk in here, and I'm gonna go add my 1/4 a cup of butter, which is about 4 tablespoons of butter. And I'm gonna heat that up and let that melt, probably on a medium heat. And then I said about 1/8 a teaspoon of salt and pepper, so it's just a small pinch. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to that. And I have 1/4 a cup of the bisquick mix that I made, and about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. So I'm just gonna kind of mix this up a little bit. And I have about 15 minutes on my tuna ring, and then I will steam some broccoli to go with it, and that will be our meal tonight. It's really pretty darn good. I will take a picture, of course, show you the end result of it. I hope you can see. So I don't want to scald the milk, but I do want to melt the butter, and it's starting to melt. It's starting to. So you're just gonna stir it so it doesn't scald, it doesn't burn on the bottom, because if you burn it, then you're done. Basically, you're making a cheese gravy, is how I can explain a sauce. You can make, it's all kind of a roux, and then you can just make whatever you want. You can make a gravy, you can make a cheese sauce, you can make just an egg sauce. I think that's bechamel, I'm not for sure. Those are the fancy words that I don't know. I'm my teacher. I'm just trying to teach you the basic stuff of cooking. So, and this butter was cold. It was in the freezer. By the way, you can freeze butter, you can freeze milk, you can freeze cheese. It all keeps pretty well. Now, if you get a gallon of milk, you can take at least a cup of it out and then stick it in the freezer, because it does form water crystals, and you want to make sure you have room for it to expand. But the butter keeps really well. I buy, whenever it's on sale, I'll buy 4 or 5 of them, stick them in the freezer. Cheese the same way, whenever it's on sale. I just buy, I think it's like sometimes you'll get it 5 for $10 or something like that. So, and it freezes really well. It keeps for a really good long time. The shredded mozzarella, the shredded cheddar, Parmesan, all that kind of stuff that's pre-packaged. You can also do the whole blocks. You can do that, freeze that as well. But it does thaw out a lot faster if it's the shredded kind. This is almost heated up. So I got another hunk in here to go. Like I said, I've got the salt and pepper in there. And then I'm going to add my, just one little piece in there floating around. It's about ready to heat up. I'm going to go ahead and turn this down just a little bit. And then I'm going to add my bisquick mix that I made. So, and you just want to make sure you stir that pretty good so it's not lumpy, and it will thicken. I don't want to burn it, so I'm keeping it at a medium heat and stirring it up. You could do whatever kind of cheese that you want. You could do more than one cheese if you wanted to. Be creative with that. This is also a way to make macaroni and cheese. You're making a sauce, basically. That's what I was trying to think of earlier and I couldn't think about it. So homemade mac and cheese is whatever pasta that you want, and basically cheese sauce. And I don't think it is any longer than boiling the water in a box of, say, Kraft macaroni and cheese. You're going to boil the water. Well, while the pasta is baking or boiling, you can make your cheese sauce. So it's starting to get thick. It's starting to make a little bit of bubbles. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn this down a little bit more on the medium to low. And I'm going to add my cheese at the last. That's about a cup. It's a little less than a cup because that's kind of all I have right at the moment out. And then you're just going to mix that really well. And then you will turn off the heat. Now that looks nice. That only took a few minutes actually, 6 minutes. And I think pasta takes 8 to 10 minutes. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your cheese sauce. Do is get my broccoli out, cut it up, and steam it. And then we can eat. Now, it'll be ready by the time the tuna ring is ready. Okay, I have just cut it into pieces. And I'm gonna put this here. It's some broccoli, which I steamed. This is fresh broccoli. I'll get a few more pieces. Don't look at that, I dropped one. Shh, drop down. Okay. And then we're gonna have the cheese sauce. I'm gonna put cheese sauce on the broccoli. And then cheese sauce on your tuna ring. Let's add some more because it's fun. And it's good. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the meal for tonight.